I realized that we're not meant to know the entire picture. It took me a while to realize that, but you're not meant to see the whole picture. You're not meant to see the entire journey. You're only meant to see a couple of steps ahead of you because that's when faith happens, is put into work. I realized that for a long time of my life, and sometimes I still struggle with this. I tend to overplan things. I tend to plan every minuscule detail of whatever I'm trying to achieve. And most of the time, it leads to me procrastinating. It leads to me burning out just from the planning alone. That way I don't end up putting any work or effort towards it. And if you're going through the same struggle, I understand. It's hard because when you're trying to step into new directions, it's easy to not have faith. It's easy to doubt. And so I think it's a coping mechanism of trying to not feel lost in life or trying to not look stupid, trying to not look foolish in front of everybody. And so you plan every tiny details, you study every minuscule and every obscure information out there in order to try to do something because you're afraid that you will not look like you know what you're doing. But I'm here to tell you that it's okay to not know what you're doing because you can figure it out as you go. This podcast, I planned this for well over 8 months before I actually started producing content. But in those 8 months, I already had the mic and the camera, my phone, 2 months into the planning. And for 6 months, I was just thinking about and procrastinating what I would do in the podcast. I was just procrastinating and over planning how I would edit my videos, how I would plan and structure it, how long would it be, what I would say, what's the theme? Is it Midnight Gospels? Is it Mellow Space? It's both. I overplanned it, and looking back now, it didn't matter because I still made those mistakes and I still learned from them and I still course corrected. The overplanning just turned to me procrastinating. I was scared that I wouldn't know what I would say. And sometimes I didn't know what to say. But I was scared that I would look like I didn't know what I was doing. But the truth is, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know what was the next word that was going to come out of my mouth. And yet I still did it. So the over planning was just wasted time. Stop over planning. Start putting in work. Lock in, bro. Lock in. I would constantly pray to God what I would say in my podcast. What could I do? What could my topics be? And I guess I would get an answer. This. This is my podcast. But I didn't put in the work. I didn't record. I was not confident about my voice. I was not confident about how I would look like. I was not confident how cinematic it could be. Hell, I didn't even want it to be cinematic. I was literally against using fog lights. I was against using cob lights and like just I was against retaking. But I realize now that those are good things. But when I was over planning it, I despised that, and eventually it bit me back in my behind. And I caved in and actually started using them. Chances are when you're over planning things, it won't play out exactly how you would plan it to be. Because there would be factors, there would be areas where you just can't control it. There will be parts in your planning that just will be outside your grip. And the truth is, in in the attempt of trying to control things, you're only wasting effort and time. You're only wasting energy that you could have put into work. And I realized that I doubted God, or I didn't have faith in Him. I didn't doubt Him. I didn't have faith. Because God would give us a lamp for our journey, but that lamp would only show and only light up a couple of steps ahead of you. It would never show you the entire journey. It would never show you the entire pathway. But I wanted that. I wanted that pathway lit. I wanted street lights every 5 meters. It just won't be. And I guess I realized that I could either be whining about how the path isn't lit and how God only gave me a lamp, or I could work with what I have and start walking. It's okay to be scared. I think a lot of us think that when we have faith in God, we instantly won't have doubts, or we instantly won't be scared of the future. But I think having faith in God is having those doubts, having those fears, and going against them. I think it's having faith. I think having faith is having those doubts and still doing it anyways. I think having faith is being scared of what's ahead of you, being scared of what could be in your path, and still walking. That's faith. Faith isn't instantly having the entire picture on your mind. No, it's having the puzzle pieces and trusting God that as you put the pieces on the puzzle, God will correct you. As long as you abide in him, God will correct you, and that you will put it in the right place as long as you abide in God. Over planning is just wasting time. Don't get me wrong, plan. Do plan. Think about what you would do. Think about what you would say first. But don't think about how people would react. Don't think about how it would look like, because you can correct that. You can learn from it on the way there. Do plan, but don't overplan. Don't overplan to the point of procrastination, to the point of wasting time. Start working and start having faith in God. Faith is not knowing what could happen next, but trusting God that He will be there. Because God is there, is here. Today's episode is filmed in my room. Um, I can't really film outside because there's a storm. There's an ongoing storm. So I hope you guys are safe. Stay safe, stay inside, and stay dry. Thank you so much for listening. I'm your host, Devi, and you're listening to Devi Pods. Remember that God loves you, I love you, and that He is always with you. So start praying and start having trust and faith in Him. Thank you so much for listening. And I'm sending you lots of love. And I hope and I pray for your peace. Bye.